I want to turn now to something that has gotten the attention of the country, but particularly the Democratic Party. We are starting to hear about the first excerpts and the book release of former Vice President Kamala Harris's book. It comes out this week. You were, of course, on the short list to be Vice President Harris's running mate. I want to read a little bit about what she writes about you. She writes that in your meeting, you seemed more focused on defining your role than helping her, that you even asked about artwork for the residents. And she worried that you would, quote, be unable to settle for a role as number two. Is that an accurate account?
I mean, look, I haven't read her book. The only thing I was focused on was working my tail off to deny Donald Trump a second term. I crisscrossed the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I went to communities that the campaign didn't even show up in to try and make clear the dangers I saw in Donald Trump, that costs would go up and our freedoms would go down and be limited. Sadly, I was right about that, because now Donald Trump has been given the opportunity to return to the Oval Office. I worked hard to make sure that didn't happen, and sadly, we were unsuccessful at the ballot box. As for the process I went through with the vice president, I said throughout it, she had a personal decision to make, obviously, and in the end, so did I. And I think that, I'm going to go forward and continue to do this work now to push back on what the president is doing and try and protect my state.
Are you disappointed, though, that she seems to be characterizing this decision-making process, invoking your name and some of the other contenders?
Look, I haven't read her book. I understand she's saying a lot of things about a lot of people, but I haven't spent the time on it.
President Trump won Pennsylvania by less than 2 points, Governor. Mm-hmm. Do you think you could have delivered this state for Kamala Harris?
I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, this was a choice voters had between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. They made their choice. I obviously disagree with it, and I worked hard to do everything in my power to elect Kamala Harris and my good friend, Governor Tim Walz. But in the end, I respect the will of the voters.
Former Vice President Harris says it was, quote, reckless for the people around former President Biden to leave the decision up to President Biden and the First Lady. Do you agree with her assessment that it was reckless for President Biden's inner circle not to intervene?
Well, again, she can explain what she means by that. I really can't comment on that. And again, I haven't read the book. Here's what I can tell you, is that I made a point to speak to the people around the president repeatedly about what I saw were worrying signs here in Pennsylvania. And when I felt that they were not sharing that information directly with the president, I went directly to the president, to the former president, and shared that with him when we met at a coffee shop in Harrisburg. I was very direct and very blunt about what I saw were worrying signs electorally about his prospects to be able to win again. So I believe in speaking directly to people when I've got something to say, and that's exactly what I did.
Do you think Kamala Harris would be a strong candidate in 2028?
Yeah, I think that's a question for the voters to decide.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.